Holy crap, it's like I'm playing an 8-bit version of the Dawn of Souls port. Which game should I choose? Should I choose this one? Should I choose that one? Should I choose that one? Should I choose this one? Should I choose this one? Should I choose that one? No, we're gonna do the original Final Fantasy. The world is veiled in darkness, the wind stops, the seas rage, and the earth begins to rot. The people wait for their only hope, a prophecy. When the world is in darkness, 4 warriors of light will come. After a long journey, 4 youths did arrive, each holding a crystal. Holy cow, somebody better call Captain Planet because the fucking ecosystem is going awry. I know. Anyway, hey guys, it's Lucas Horclock, so welcome to the new project. We're gonna be doing the original Final Fantasy for the Famicom. Now you might be thinking, Lucas, what the fuck was that with the intro with the Final Fantasy 1 and 2? Well, actually, I'm playing on the Final Fantasy 1 and 2 bundle that came with well, that was only sold in Japan, in order to promote for the new new at the time, AV Famicom. Where, you know, like, back then with the NES, you had, like, the really old model, you have to use, like, a coaxial cable or something in order to get the picture. but then they later made a new model called the Top Loader, where it actually comes with, like, the AV cables that we all know and love today. So yeah, I think that's why they made, like, they did, like, a little report of Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for the Famicom, yet again. Now, this should be almost exactly as the original Final Fantasy 1 and 2. There's just a few minor differences between the ports, and I will point them out once we get to them in both games. There's nothing game-breaking, it's just little minor aesthetic changes that they made. Alright, so let me just go over through the menus here. We have Tsuzuku, which is to continue your saved game. It kind of sucks that this game only lets you have one save file compared to like Dragon Quest 1 and 2, even though they had the really tedious password system in those games, at least in the Japanese version. Technically speaking, because of it, you can make as many save files as you want, but in this one you only get one. Kinda sucks. So yeah, if you want to restart again, then choose Yari Naoshi, which is to it redos everything, so really be careful whenever you come back to the screen. Don't choose this option. Just choose Suzuki. And the message at the bottom is just your message speed. You can alter it, change it with the left and right buttons, and basically it determines how fast battles will go. Now, even though graphically speaking, this game uses in this game, when it comes to battles, you can see your characters doing all this interesting cool shit while they're fighting. The game still uses text in order to describe everything that's going on. So like damage and like what status effects have happened. It's not until Final Fantasy 3 when they started to illustrate that shit, actually. So yeah, if you leave it at 1, it just makes battles really slow. And I think it can go up to 8. But I'm just gonna leave it at 6. I think that's a reasonable setting for the message, because I still kind of want to read it. Even though my Japanese isn't that good, but yeah, I just want to make sure I'm able to read it. Alright, so let's redo our file here. Oh no, I cannot even see my file, but oh well. So doing that, we are taken to the party selection screen, where we can select our character job classes. Now, I already decided what kind of party I'm gonna be doing for this run, but I'm still gonna go over all the job classes anyway. So starting off, we have the Aka Majutsushi, which is the Red Mage. Now, Red Mages are really good in the sense that they're really versatile. They can equip swords, they can equip light armor, and they also have access to white magic and black magic. Now, of course, with Final Fantasy, I am going to be mentioning some of the many game-breaking bugs of this game. This game is so buggy. And one of the major bugs that the game has is the intelligence bug. Basically, the intelligence stat doesn't work in this version at all. It doesn't do anything. So, the supposed weakness of the Red Mage, where even though they can be able to cast both schools of magic, they're not as proficient as the other mages. Because the intelligence stat doesn't work, the Red Mage is just as proficient with those schools of magic as the as the White Mage and the Black Mage. So really, they're actually really good in this version because of it, and I don't think they fix it until the Game Boy Advance iteration of Final Fantasy 1. Which, it's kind of weird, because I know they made the remake for the they remade it for the Wonder Swan, and then the PlayStation version. Excuse me, I'm drinking water. But I guess they forgot to, like, fix the bug. So yeah, I'm gonna have one in my team. And yeah, it kind of sucks when you're naming your character here. They don't give you katakana. You're stuck with hiragana, so I'm gonna have to go with a Japanese name. Which I guess isn't that bad, but oh well. So for this guy, I'm gonna call him Basho. I'm gonna name him after that famous haiku poet in Japan. Alright, the next job class that we have is a thief. Now, even though, despite their name, them being a thief, they steal fuck all in this game, because there's no stealing command. That's not until Final Fantasy 3. So, the way thieves works is what they do is they have really high agility, so they can run from battles easier, which is useful. However, they only have a few selection of weapons that can, or swords at least, that they can equip. They equip light armor. They don't learn any magic, but their character class upgrade, which is the ninja. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Is really good. Ninjas are awesome. They basically are almost just as strong as the warriors, and they can equip almost all the weapons and almost all the armor in the entire game. There's just a few exceptions that I'm gonna have to go over them because it kind of sucks. They also have access to low-leveled black magic, which doesn't mean a lot, but even though magic is underpowered in this game, there's still a few useful buffs that the ninja can use. So definitely I'm gonna have a thief in my team. And this dude, I'm gonna call him Hayate. There we go. Oh yeah, and to confirm your name, just select the empty space here. The next job class that we have is the monk. Now monks are really good too. They can deal as much damage as the warrior can, even more actually later on. And they don't really require a lot of equipment. That's actually their big bonus. However, they have shoddy defense. So because of it, they're gonna be kind of struggling early on and even later on actually. But they're still pretty good. If you max one of these guys out, you pretty much beat the game actually. They're really that good. I'm not gonna be using a monk in this playthrough, however. What I am gonna be using is a Shiroma Jutsushi, the white mage. Now, white mages, they're literally the life of the party. They come with useful curative spells. They have debuffs and buffs. However, because this is a very buggy game, most of the magic in this game is bugged. It doesn't work as intended. But the white mage still has a really good arsenal of curative abilities. And once she upgrades to the white sorcerer, she'll learn some really nice healing magic as well as holy too. So that's really good. So I want to have one in my team. And I know because of the character sprite, I guess the way they drew it, the character's supposed to be androgynous, but I'm just gonna refer to her as a female. So I'm gonna call her Mayu. Alright. And then we have the Senshi, the warrior. Now warriors are really good too. They're really the tank in this entire game. Having one of them makes this game a lot easier. Not only do they deal lots of damage, they can absorb lots of damage. They're just amazing. And once they upgrade it to a knight, they'll have access to some of the most powerful weapons in the game. They're really good. There's a reason why a lot of people always have like a warrior in front leading the group, because they're just really amazing. But I'm not gonna be one of those people. Fuck them. I need no man. Yeah, it's like so many bastards on YouTube use freaking warriors in their playthroughs. I mean, no, there's nothing bad about it. It's just that I kind of want to have some variety with this one, because I know there's like a lot of playthroughs of the original Final Fantasy, isn't there? So I'm gonna be using a Kuru Majutsushi. And yeah, like I said before, magic is really underplayed. Black mages are still useful. They have their elemental spells, which they're really good when it comes to facing random battles and whatnot. However, many of their spells are bugged too. But at least they come with some really useful buffs as well. Besides, they look really cool, so I'm gonna have one on my team. So this dude, I'm calling him AG. There we go. So now that we have our team ready, yay! Alright, so let's hit the start button, and then we're taken to the menu here. Now you see on the top left, those are the crystals that we need to light. I actually don't think they call them crystals in this translation. They probably just call them orbs, but we all know they're crystals anyway. Alright, so even though that we're supposed to be like the prophesized light warriors, we come with no items, no magic, no weapons, and no armor. But they still expect us to like save the world and whatnot. At least we have 400 gil. Yeah. Alright. Oh, and yeah, this is a cool thing. Even because I'm not going to be using a warrior, I'm going to have a cool looking red mage here. Like, yeah, he looks really cool with that hat on that cape. Such a badass. Yeah, and if you hit the select button, you're taken to the formation menu. So here you can adjust like who's going to be leading the group. And the reason you want to do this, even though there's no front row and back row in this game, that's not until Final Fantasy IV. The enemies are going to most likely target the character who's going to be on the front, then the character who's at the second position, then the third character, and then the fourth character. And that's how it goes when it comes to targeting. So definitely want to have the your tank be the leading group, be at the lead here. Oh, and there's like an annoying little thing. Every time your character dies, they actually get sent all the way into the back position. So you just gotta remember to do that every time they die or something. And actually, I don't think it's even when they're dying. I think it's when they're in critical HP. They actually get sent back at the back row, I guess, if you want to call it. After the battle is done, of course. Alright, so let's just visit the town of Cornelia. Yay! Oh, this is my NPC in the entire game. It's this freaking town gimp. Just look at her leg. It's like she's walking on one leg. It's like, I can dance. Yeah. I love her. Okay. So because we have the money, let's actually go buy some equipment. Alright, let's visit the weapons shops here. Alright, so here they sell staffs, knives, nunchucks, rapiers, and hammers. In here, I want to buy 2 rapiers, one for Basho, and one for Hayate. There we go. And then I want to buy a staff for AG. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And I want to buy a hammer. Yeah, for some reason, white mages can equip hammers in this game, which is really amazing, which is really cool. However, they're kind of weak, so oh well. But they still look really cool when they're attacking too. Alright, so now that we have that, let's visit the armor shop. And here they sell clothes, the leather armor, the kawayoroi, and the kusari ga tabira, which is the chainmail. I'm gonna buy a chainmail for Basho there. And I'll buy a kawa no yoroi for Hayate, and for the rest of my mages, they're just gonna be wearing normal clothing. So one for Mayu, and one for AG. Yeah, it's kind of tedious when it comes to like making transactions in this game, because if you noticed, you can't actually select like how much of an item you want to buy or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna get really annoying like later in the game. And we also have some magic shops. So here we're at the white magic shop. And let me just go over the spells. We have Cure, which restores HP. They sell Dia, which deals unholy damage to the undead, which is really useful. We also have Protect, which increases your character's defense. And we have Blink. This spell is actually really useful. The Blink spell, you can only cast it on the white mage, or on yourself, basically. but it increases your evasion, and it's really handy when it comes to bosses too, so I definitely want to pick that up once I have the money. But for now, I'm just gonna pick up Cure for Mayu. There we go. And we have enough money to buy in one more spell. So let's visit the Black Magic shop. And let's see what they have. Alright, they have Fire, which deals fire elemental damage to an enemy. We have Sleep, which is this is one of the weird bugs that the game has. So with Sleep, it puts enemies to sleep. I normally wouldn't use this because it's not, I don't know, I don't find it that useful. But what makes it even more useless is the fact that it only really works when it comes to enemies that have over 80 HP. If an enemy, I mean less than 80 HP, I'm sorry. If an enemy has over 80 HP and you use Sleep, they'll wake in the same turn actually, so it's pretty useless. Then we have Shape, which I think it decreases an enemy's evasion. I don't know why they call it Shape. I guess because you're making like a substitute copy of yourself, so they're thinking that they're hitting you, but they're not. And then we have Thunder, which deals lightning elemental damage to enemies. So right now I'm just gonna pick up Fire for AG. And oh, I already did it. Okay. Alright. So now we want to equip all the stuff that we bought. And yeah, it's kind of weird. With this game, every character has their own weapons inventory and armors inventory. And then we have like our general item inventory. I don't know why they decided to do that. I don't know. Why don't we have like I don't know why they didn't go with like a normal equipment screen, but oh well. Yeah. Let me just go over these. So Sobi is to equip, Gokan is to trade, and Suter is to discard. So yeah, let's just equip. There we go. Our weapons. Oh, sorry. And our armor. And let me make sure we have our spells. Oh wait, no, of course I didn't buy him. Okay. Mayu has Cure, and AG has Fire. Oh yeah, and now here's the magic system of the game. Unlike Dragon Quest 1, where they had a normal magic point system, Final Fantasy tries to be edgy by making this weird spell charge system. Now, you see on the left where it says 2 out of 2, that basically means you can cast any of that level tier spells that you have in your arsenal up to 2 times. So what this means, I can cast Fire or any other spell that I have in the level 1 tier, just only 2 times. So that's how it works, and every time you level up, you'll gain more spell charges. I really like this system in Final Fantasy 3, but in Final Fantasy 1, the spell charge system is horribly unbalanced. They barely give you enough spell charges to be able to go through the dungeons. Actually, no, wait, no, they don't. They actually, I mean, you don't get enough spell charges to go through the dungeons unless you really level grind. But because of that, your mages are gonna be useless when it comes to random battles, because you're gonna have to conserve that shit in order to use them on the bosses. It's not like how in Dragon Quest 2, where they really balance out the magic system, because they don't give you a lot of magic points, but they give you enough where you'll still be able to use them in many different situations, while still being able to conserve them. So yeah, that's one thing I kind of don't like about Final Fantasy 1. But oh well, I guess I can forgive it. And yeah, here we have our item shop. They sell potions that heals your HP, Dokukeshis that cures poison, and Nebukuru, which is the sleeping bags. The way the tents and the basic sleeping bags or whatnot, or the cottages they work, every time you use one, that actually saves your game as well, so that's pretty neat. Oh, and here we have our church. I know in the English version they call this the House of Healing. I think they even replaced the cross with a little heart. But yeah, it's a church. Basically, you come here in order to revive anybody who's dead. Alright, so I think if we talk to a guard here, he's gonna tell us what we have to do. Oh no, they do call it crystals. Okay. Alright, good. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. I think that's only in the remake versions when you talk to a guard, you'll automatically get transported to the throne room of Cornelia Castle. I guess we're just gonna have to go there ourselves. Alright, let's just go to Cornelia Castle. And see what the game is expecting us to do right now. Besides restoring the light to the crystals. Alright, and that talking to the king tells us that his daughter, Princess Sarah, has been kidnapped by the rogue knight Garland. And if you talk to any of the soldiers here, they're gonna mention that Garland took the princess to the Chaos Temple north of here. Oh, and there's a neat little glitch that's in this castle. Yeah, there's an invisible NPC. Now, the reason why she's invisible, the reason why she's bugged is because you notice that every time you enter a room, all the surrounding NPCs in the room vanish. Basically, she's in the state where you can only see her whenever you enter a room. But because we can't see her when we're in the room, she appears invisible to us. So that's why she's like that. Alright. So now that we have our objective, yeah, I'll show off some few random counters so that way I can introduce you to the battle system here. Let's see what enemies we can find. Oh shit, that's a lot amount of that's a lot of goblins. Alright. I made like a little bestiary here. I have like another guidebook with me that I made when it comes on my previous runs. Excuse me. However, it's not complete. I didn't route down every single enemy that we face. It's mostly just the ones on the dungeons, but alright, I'll just tell you. The goblins, they only have 8 HP. They're really weak. And yeah, oh. And let me just go over the commands here real quick. Tataka, which is to attack. Maho is to use your spells. Gusuri, which is to use medicines like potions, tokukeshis, your antidotes, your eye drops, whatnot. And then we have the Mochimono, which is to your belongings. It's kind of weird why they didn't put these two into just items, but anyway, with your belongings, this lets you use any equipment that you can use as a spell, like in Dragon Quest 2. With some of the swords that we use, or some of the weapons that casts, like they can serve as actual spells when you use them in battle. So yeah, that's what that's for. And then lastly, we have Nigaru, which is to flee. And yeah, because of Final Fantasy, there is no auto-targeting, so you're gonna have to just spread your attacks. So that way, you don't waste a lot of turns when it comes to attacking. You'll get used to it. I know it's kind of annoying because of it, but you'll get used to it. It's not that big of a deal. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun, dun. Oh yeah, and one thing I kind of hate about this game too. I mean, okay, I know I'm sounding like really pessimistic about the Final Fantasy. I really like the game, but there's just a few minor annoyances compared to Dragon Quest, in which I don't like this game. Or there's some things that bother me about this game. Hey, we won. Alright. Like, for example, your characters miss way too much in this game. And then second, because of, even though it's really cool to seeing your characters and whatnot, battles take way too long to finish compared to like Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Or just the rest of the series in general. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a little boring when it comes to fighting, but oh well. I still like the game though. It's still pretty cool. Dun, dun. Yeah, I want to find another enemy here that I can show off real quick before I end the video. Dun 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 dun. Yay! Dun, 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 dun. I love that little jingle too. That's so catchy. Alright. Okay, I think if we go a little bit north here, we'll find some new enemies. Yeah, for some reason I don't get why like the overworld sprite for the red mage, he has black hair, but in the battle in the battle graphic, he has white hair. It's kind of weird, but oh well. He still looks cool. He kind of reminds me of Rossius from Tales of Eternia. And that dude is so cool too. Oh man, more goblins. So yeah, the way the way you want to just do battles in general is just have all of your characters attack different enemies, so that way, like I said before, you don't waste any turns attacking an enemy. And yeah, see what I mean? Miss! At least Hayate killed one. Dun, 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 dun. I'll never get tired of that though. That's pretty. I like that jingle. I think everybody likes that jingle. Alright, if we don't encounter the new enemy, I'm gonna have to cut the video off. Basically, I'm actually gonna be doing some level grinding. I know, already? Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of level grinding in this game. It's kind of annoying because you're just gonna, there's a lot of pauses that you have to do in order to gain some more levels compared to like Dragon Quest 2, but we'll manage. I actually want to get my characters up to level 4, and that's probably a bit of an overkill because I think you'll be just fine at level 3, but I also want to accumulate the money to be able to buy some of the spells that I didn't manage to buy back at Cornelia. Okay, a new enemy here. We got the wolves. They have 20 HP. That's all you need to know. So yeah, when it comes to bestiary, like I said before, I don't have every monster recorded on my little bestiary here, but I have most of the important ones that we're gonna be finding in dungeons anyway. So, all right, how close are we to a level up actually? Oh, all right. You know what? Let's actually I'll end the video after the level up. Let's just fight the goblins here actually. I really like this battle song too. I don't like it when it comes to like remixes, because they add way too much stuff into the song. But when it's an 8-bit, I really like it. It sounds so cool. It's really catchy. I never get tired of it. Yeah, see how Eiji like just hit the empty space that Basho already killed the goblin there? Alright. Let's see, how are we doing on HP? Alright. Dun, 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 dun. And I also like the world map music. It's so upbeat, I love it. Nobuo Uematsu, like, this is such a good introduction to what he can do. He just makes all this catchy music. And don't worry, I'm not going to be showing every single encounter in this playthrough. Like, obviously I'm going to be cutting out a lot of battles. Definitely in this game, because they take too long. Even with the message speed, if you crank it up to 8, it takes way too long. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, I think one more battle and then we'll gain the level up. Oh, never mind. We get it now. Alright. So Basho, he got an increase in Chikara, which is strength. He got an increase of Tsubayasa, agility. Chisei, which is intelligence. Doesn't do anything. Dairyoku, which is vitality. And Koun, which is luck. Alright, that's a good level for him. Hayate got an increase in strength, agility, intelligence, and luck. Mayu got an increase in strength, agility, intelligence, and luck as well. And an Eiji got an increase in intelligence, vitality. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, I forgot to go over the statuses real quick. Alright, so for like the stats, if you look at the left, at the bottom left, we have Chikara, which like I mentioned before, it's strength. Tsubayasa is agility, Chisei is intelligence, Dairyoku is vitality, and Koun is luck. And the stats on the right there, we have our weapon stats, our Meichiritsu, which is our accuracy, our armor stat, and then lastly the Kaihiritsu, which is our evade. And those stats correlate with the base stats and whatever equipment that you have on your character there. Alright, so before ending the video off, I'll show you how you save actually. Like I mentioned before, you can save using the tents, or the sleeping bags, or the cottages that you can get on the item shops, or you can save at the end. There we go. And this is gonna be the cheapest in the entire game because it only costs 30 gil. Every end that you come up to, the prices will just get higher and higher. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. I kinda hate to end the part here because I really want to get to the prologue, or at least finish the prologue here, but oh well. Like I said before, I'm gonna level grind around here up to level 4, and then we'll have enough money to buy the rest of the spells that I wanted to get, and after that, we'll finally go to the Chaos Temple and rescue the princess. So I'll see you guys until the next part. Bye!